morning, dear students. The Commerce Department is offering the foundation course on income tax. You'll be wondering why to learn about income tax at this very young age. Why have you come to college? To get education, to get a degree, to go for higher studies, all for only one purpose, to be employed, either in a job or in self-employment programs. Our ultimate aim is to earn income. We, the women, are interested nowadays to earn income as our livelihood. Income, when we earn, after a particular level, we have to pay income tax. Income tax. What is income tax? Why is income tax levied? The government of India needs money for all its developmental projects. From where will they get the money? One of the sources is the income tax that they collect from the citizens. So every citizen must know how to calculate their income and how to calculate their income tax. First of all, they should know whether they have to pay income tax or not, and then they must learn how to calculate income and how to calculate income tax. We should be responsible citizens. There are people around about whom we have heard they are refusing to pay income tax. They are hiding from income tax and ultimately they get arrested. We don't want the Fatimites to be like that. We should be responsible citizens. We should know and when we have to pay tax and how much we have to pay income tax. That is why this particular course is given by the Commerce Department. Shall we proceed to learn about income tax? Are you all ready, students? Income tax. The provisions, all rules and regulations regarding income tax is governed by the Income Tax Act of 1961. The government has passed this act. All the rules and regulations, all principles related to income and income tax are given under this act. Income tax is charged on the income of a person. Of course, you can understand income tax. So, tax on income. So, we should know what is income. And again, it is taxed on the income of a person. So, we should know who is a person. So, we shall go on to learn the basic concepts which is very important for learning income tax. Now, person according to the Income Tax Act includes the following: an individual, a Hindu undivided family, a company, a firm, an association of persons or a body of individuals, whether incorporated or not, a local authority, and every artificial juridical person. We all know who is an individual. An individual is a human being like you and me. According to the Act, an individual may be a man or a woman or even a minor child is accepted to be an individual, and even a lunatic is accepted to be an individual under the Income Tax Act. The second one is a Hindu undivided family. A Hindu family which is undivided, including all the ancestors, including the wives and the unmarried daughters in that family. A company, you all know, you would have all heard the term company. It is an artificial person with a perpetual succession and a common seal. It is established for earning income. A firm means a partnership firm. Partners, they join together to conduct business and to earn income. An association of persons or a body of individuals, they are a group of people. They don't come under company or firm, but they still come together for the common purpose of earning income. They may be a registered body or not. A local authority means municipality, corporation or panchayat. Every other artificial juridical person means every person who does not come under any of the above categories. Maybe an idol or deity, or even a college or university. Fatima College is an artificial juridical person. The next thing that we are going to learn is income. Income is actually not defined under the Income Tax Act. Income Tax Act only gives a long list of items to be included under the term income. Now we have summarized all these items under 5 heads. The aggregate of income of all these 5 heads is known as gross total income. Let us see all these 5 heads. Income from salaries, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, and income from other sources. Other teachers will come and explain all of them in detail in very simple terms so that you can understand. But still, let me give a small introduction to you. Income from salary. I am a salaried person. Because I am employed in Fatima College, every month I get a salary. So I get income from salary. Every employed person gets an income from salary. Income from house property. Suppose you have a house and you let it out, you get rent. It is income from house property. Profits and gains of business or profession. Suppose you are employed in a business, you have your own business and you get profit from that business. It is an income. Now capital gain is a profit which you get when you sell a capital asset. A capital asset may be a building or a land. They are all called capital assets. When you sell an asset and if there is any profit, we call it as capital gain, and it is another head of income. The last one is income from other sources. Any income which is not covered under the other heads will come under income from other sources. Income from other sources, we can tell many examples. For example, if you win a lottery, you cannot call it under salary or income from house property or profits and gains of business or capital gains. So it comes under income from other sources. Now, one important term is assessee. Now, who is an assessee? So, I told you the definition of a person. The person, when he has to pay income tax under the Income Tax Act, he is called an assessee. Assessee means his income is assessed. Assessed means calculated for the purpose of paying income tax. So this word assessee is very important for income tax. So a person, when he has to pay income tax, he is called an assessee. Not only paying income tax, there are some other people are also called as assessees. Suppose you have to pay some other amount to the income tax department. Say for example interest or penalty, then you are called an assessee. So if you pay income tax, you are called an assessee. If you make some other payment also related to the income tax, you are called an assessee. Not only that, suppose some proceeding is taken against you under the Income Tax Act, then you are called an assessee. What is meant by proceeding? Some legal action. Some action is taken against you in relation to your assessment of income or assessment of loss or assessment of refund, anything like this related to income tax of either your income or the income of somebody else for whom you are assessable. So if there is any legal proceeding, some legal action between you and the income tax department, some legal proceeding is there, then you are called an assessee. There are two more terms related to assessee: deemed assessee and assessee in default. Deemed assessee means You are not a person earning income, but you are assessed for the income of some other person. You are assessed for the income of some other person. For example, a father has earned income. Before he could be assessed for income tax, he dies. Now his legal representative is his son. So the son is called for income tax purpose. He is assessed. So he becomes a deemed assessee. Now who is an assessee in default? Anybody who does not carry out his responsibility in relation to the income tax, then he becomes an assessee in default. For example, I work in Fatima College. I earn my income as salary here. According to income tax rules, my employer, Fatima College, has to deduct some income tax from my salary every month. It is a responsibility given by the income tax department to my employer, Fatima College. Suppose if Fatima College is not deducting that tax from my salary, Fatima College becomes the assessee in default. The next thing that we are going to learn is two important years related to income tax. You may be wondering, two important years? Yes, they are assessment year and previous year. Both the years start from 1st April of a year and ends at 31st March of the next year. We normally call this period as financial year. 1st April of a year to 31st March of the next year. So in income tax also, these 2 years start at 1st April and end on 31st March of the next year. Now what is previous year? The year in which income is earned is previous year. But the next following year is the assessment year. The year during which the assessment or the calculation of income tax is done is called assessment year. For example, now I am earning income from 1st April 2015 to March 31st 2016. This is my previous year. Starting 1st April 2016 to 31st March 2017 will be my assessment year. During that year, my income of the previous year will be assessed. This is very important for income tax. The next important concept is residential status of individuals. When I talked about the person, I told many different types of persons. And one person is individual. You and me are individuals. Now, when individuals are assessed for income tax, what is important is their residential status. Residence, where they stay, where they settle. That is very, very important. Now, I will tell you one example. I am in India, I am in Madurai, I am working in Fatima College, I get my income from Fatima College. Take a case of my brother. He is staying in United States of America, he is employed there, he is getting his income there. Do you think he has to pay income tax in India just because he is an Indian? Definitely no. Where you are staying, where you are residing is very important for the payment or calculation of income tax. Now, on the basis of the classification, there are 3 classifications of residents. First one, ordinarily resident in India, not ordinarily resident in India, and non-resident in India. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we are focusing only on the first type of person, resident. Ordinarily resident, or we call them as resident. An individual resident in India. Income Tax Act has clearly defined or clearly given the conditions for who is an ordinarily resident in India. Ordinarily resident, an individual is said to be a resident in India in any previous year if he satisfies any one of the following basic conditions. Two conditions are there, but any one of them may be satisfied to make him a resident. The first condition is he is in India in the previous year for a period of 182 days or more. Previous year, I already taught you what is the previous year. During that period, he must be residing in India for 182 days or more. Not necessary that 182 days must come together. You can split and be there. Not necessary you must stay in only one place. You can stay in any part of India. But the total must be 182 days or more. Now, if this condition is not satisfied, don't say he is not an ordinary resident in India. There is another condition given. That is, he has been in India for at least 365 days during the 4 years preceding the previous year and is in India for at least 60 days during the previous year. Suppose he is not in India for 182 days, but he is in India for 60 days or more during the previous year. We will consider that person and we will take 4 years preceding the previous year. Each day we will find out how many days he had been residing in India. We will total for the 4 years. If that period is 365 days or more and during the previous year he had been residing in India for 60 days or more, then we will consider him to be ordinarily resident in India. Why I talk about this residential status is, this ordinarily resident is the person who pays the highest amount of income tax compared to the other two categories of residential status. So I have talked to you about the basic concepts of income tax. What is income? Who is a person? Who is an assessee? What is gross total income? The different heads of income? What is previous year? What is assessment year? And finally, the residential status of an assessee, especially ordinarily resident in India. I have given you only the basic concepts, but you may be all interested to know how to calculate income, how to calculate income tax and all that. You are ready with your pens and your notebooks. Here we go. The other teachers will come forward to teach you all that. So bye for now.